You think you know me?
Rated M gang in the building. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Mo, if you don't already know. So, right now, we're currently in the middle of NBA playoff season. If y'all don't know, my two favorite forms of entertainment are professional wrestling and the game of basketball. So I decided, why not take two of my favorite things, put them together for one video. So what we're going to do today is we're going to compare NBA players to WWE superstars. Now listen, at the end of the day, don't take all this too serious. It's meant to be a fun, lighthearted video, all right? We're just here to have fun, all right? And I'm definitely going to be trolling for some of them, so please don't take it serious. But that's enough of me yapping. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all right? If I miss any, let me know in the comments down below, all right? Let's get started with the video, though. So we're going to start this one off with probably the easiest comparison of them all. We got John Cena and we got my boy LeBron James. And it's crazy how both of their careers kind of parallel each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both started in the early 2000s and they rose to superstardom pretty quickly. You know, John Cena with the Doctor of Thugonomics, LeBron holding it down in Cleveland, you know what I'm saying? And they got very popular very quick, but something happened. Whether it was LeBron going to Miami to form that super team with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, or it was John Cena becoming Super Cena in the mid-2000s, there became this section of fans in each profession that just hated them no matter what the fuck they did. They could have gone on to win millions of championships, put on great matches, and people just would never like them. But of course, they both got their section of fans that will love them no matter what. You know, you got the C Nation, and then you got the Bronsexuals. But whether you love them or you hate them, there's no way to deny their greatness at all. I mean, unless you Skip Bayless. Now, I don't think there's a bigger star in WWE history with a higher peak than Stone Cold Steve Austin. His popularity is probably the biggest reason why we still have the WWE today. And if we're talking superstars with the highest peak, you got to talk about the GOAT himself, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And despite the fact that neither of their careers were that long compared to their peers, they're not just icons of their sport, but they're like cultural icons. Almost everybody got a pair of Jordan. Hell, I probably got too many, I'm gonna be honest. And then one time I went out with my Austin 316 shirt and I got random compliments from people I've never met before in my life. At one point, everybody wanted to be like Mike, and hey, everybody wants to beat up their boss. Not me, okay? Please don't fire me, I need this job. And the fact is, these two are still so loved years after their careers are over. Not too long ago, it was reported that Austin is still top 5 in merch sales today. Like, the man retired in 2003. And then for Jordan, at the All-Star game a few years ago, he got bigger cheers than LeBron, the guy who brought Cleveland their only NBA championship. And it is really hard to find people who just don't like either one of them. Now, for our next comparison, let's talk about two big men, man. Let's talk about two legendary big men of their profession. Let's talk about the Undertaker. Let's talk about Kareem Abdul Jabbar. The longevity that these two have is crazy. For Undertaker, it was 30 years in the WWE, and for Kareem, it was 20 years in the NBA. And yeah, they got their fair share of accolades. You know, Undertaker, multi-time world champion. Kareem, 6-time NBA champ, the most MVPs of all time. But it felt like they were more like team players before anything. You know, for Kareem, Magic came around and he let Magic be the engine and that anchor for Showtime. And for Undertaker, he was a locker room leader for years, and at no point in his career did it feel like he was truly hogging the spotlight. And for a while, they both had records we never thought would get broken. For Undertaker, it was the streak, the 21-0 streak before Brock Lesnar broke it at WrestleMania 30. And for Kareem, it was that 38 years of being the all-time leading scorer in the NBA until LeBron broke it a couple years ago. And in my opinion, they're both the two best big men of their profession. So salute to Cap and salute to the dead man. Now let's talk about the tribal chief, your tribal chief and mine, Roman Reigns. Now, look, I already talked about this guy. I already mentioned this guy, but I'm going to compare Roman to a very specific version of him. Roman Reigns' story arc heavily reminds me of Miami LeBron. The comparison here is that they both had some heavy all-time lows that they actually came back from. For Roman, it was being that big dog character and trying to get over despite fans completely rejecting him. It was so hard being a Roman Reigns fan at that time. But then Roman went home for a little bit, came back and created this tribal chief gimmick, turned heel, and it's elevated him to levels of greatness we haven't seen in a long time. And for LeBron, it was that 2011 finals where he experienced probably the biggest meltdown of any superstar in any sport I personally ever seen. The man gave us a triple single in game 4. I don't know what to tell you. But then after that finals, LeBron went away, worked on his bag, got some help from Hakeem Olajuwon, added to his post moves, man. And became a completely different player. So then after that, he went on a run where he had 2 championships in a row, 2 MVPs in a row, and completely solidified himself as one of the greatest of all time. And since then, LeBron has done a lot for his legacy since leaving Miami. And I can legit see Roman doing the same thing, because despite him losing the championship, this bloodline story isn't finished. So we'll see where that goes. You know, for Randy Orton, the best comparison I can make for him is the late great Laker legend, Kobe Bean Bryant. And I could just say, you know, Black Mamba, Viper, snakes, but it ain't even just that. It's almost like these dudes are naturals at what they do. They make everything they do look so easy and effortless. For Randy, there's almost no flaw in his game. Like, he's great in the ring, he's great on the mic, he's one of the greatest heels of all time, he's an all-time great storyteller. There's nothing he does bad. And in Kobe's case, I don't know if I've seen anyone as skilled at the game of basketball, just purely skilled at the game, than Kobe Bryant. Then, of course, you know, snakes. I mean, Brock Lesnar, Shaquille O'Neal. Do I really have to explain this one too much? One shatters the backboard by dunking on it. The other one lifts up the ring with tractors. And with how dominant they've been their entire careers, how do you not make this comparison? Now, let's hop in the time machine a little bit. Let's go all the way back to the 60s. Let's talk about the longest reigning WWE champion of all time. Still, Bruno Sammartino. And I know some of y'all probably just rolled your eyes a little bit, you know, it's too long ago, we done with the 60s, yada, yada, yada. But listen, man, Bruno, this man set the groundwork for how to be the face of WWE, or the WWF at the time. And the easy NBA comparison here is Bill Russell. Again, say what you want about the era he was playing in, you know, the whole plumbers and firemen argument, right? But the man, at the end of the day, won 11 NBA championships. Think about that. Like, there's teams who haven't won a single championship in their entire franchise history. And this man went on to win 11. We're not seeing that again. And in Bruno's case, the man was WWE champion for almost 8 years. I don't think in our lifetimes, maybe even ever, will we see anyone get that long of a title reign. Like I said, you can air tax these dudes all you want, but you gotta give them their flowers for setting the groundwork for the people that carry the torch after them. You know, for this guy, Kevin Durant, I could say a lot of names, right? I could say Randy Orton because, you know, snake. But nah, that's too easy. You want to know who Kevin Durant is? Well, hide your wives. It's Edge. Think about it. Look at some of Edge's world title wins. 2 Money in the Bank cash-ins when his opponent was beat down already. Coming down in the middle of the match of Survivor Series 2008. Taking advantage of Matt turning on Jeff at the 09 Rumble. Hell, I was in the building for this one. This motherfucker lost his WWE title in the beginning of the night at No Way Out 09. Just to come out at the end of the night, beat down Kofi, take his spot in the Elimination Chamber, and walk out as World Heavyweight Champion. And then you got KD joining a 73-9 Warriors team that had just beaten him when he was up 3-1 to win 2 championships in a row. For a time, Kevin Durant was undoubtedly the NBA's biggest villain, and there's still a generation of kids who grew up in the ruthless aggression era who still can't stand Edge. And me personally, I still got a lot of hate in my heart for Kevin Durant. Now, let's talk about KD's former teammate, my guy Kyrie Irving. Now, I'm not going to talk about his talent today because if I did, I'd probably compare him to like a Rey Mysterio or an AJ Styles. But one thing about Kyrie is the fact that he's outspoken. He will say whatever's on his mind and he doesn't give no fucks about it. But for some reason, that pisses a lot of people off. Kind of like CM Punk. This dude is literally one of the most unfiltered wrestlers of all time, on screen and off screen. Like, you seen the shoot interview with Ariel Helwani not too long ago, and of course there's the pipe bomb. And again, for that reason, there's a lot of people who can't stand the guy. But me personally, I respect both of them for sticking to their guns and saying whatever the fuck they want. Now let's talk about personally my favorite wrestler of all time, Jeff Hardy. Now let's talk about specifically though, 2008 Jeff Hardy. You know, you hear the phrase all the time. There's no one more popular than Jeff Hardy in 2008 than Barack Obama, right? Jeff Hardy at his peak was a special time, and it's almost like prime 2011 Derrick Rose. If you mention 08 Jeff Hardy to a wrestling fan or 2011 Derrick Rose to a basketball fan, you get a lot of fond memories flooding back to you. But the thing is, these peaks were just so short-lived. You know, Jeff going off to TNA after a little bit, and then Derrick Rose's high amount of injuries. But still, so many of us still love them just based off those time periods. If you were to ask me who's currently the best in-ring performer in the world today, I would tell you it's Gunther. Why? Name me a bad Gunther match. And while you're doing that, go ahead and find me a bad Nikola Jokic playoff series. Apparently, my father and the daddy of every other Lakers fan out there, the man literally has no offensive flaws. None. He's an all-time great passer. He can shoot, and he gonna post you up until he gets his bucket, and he gonna get his buckets. And I don't know how anyone stops this guy. And then for Gunther, this man's in-ring work is impeccable. I've legit never seen the guy have a bad match at all. All right, now it's time for me to be a little bit of a hater. Let's talk about the current, at the time of recording, reigning MVP, Joel Embiid. Now, I could easily say, Obafemi, two African brothers who are dominating and have high potential. Yeah. Nah. You want to know who Joel Embiid is? Kevin Nash. It's always some sort of injury. Now let's talk about Joel Embiid's former teammate, James Harden, and specifically playoff James Harden. And if you know ball, you know just how often this motherfucker be choking. No diddy. It's always something with this guy, whether it was turning the ball over 11 times in an elimination game, his team missing 27 straight threes, which I don't know how you do that. You know what it is? It's almost like Liv Morgan nowadays. She's always placing second somehow. Back-to-back Royal Rumble runner-up, was the runner-up at the Elimination Chamber earlier this year. The Battle Royal last week for the women's title. Damn, can y'all win something? All right, now let's talk about everyone's favorite grandpa. Everyone's favorite grandpa wrestler, Goldberg, right? And I mean, I'm gonna just play two clips for this one. They just can't get the job done. All right, to wrap this video up, I'm not even trolling. If you've watched me long enough, y'all know how I feel about this dude, the great Khali, man. And this actually might be the easiest comparison of the entire video. This man is literally WWE's Kwame Brown. What do you want me to say? They're just big. Pause, but what else? Scrubs. All right, that's all the comparisons I have for y'all today. I think I was having a little too much fun with the last few, but hey, it is what it is. If I missed any, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I'll make a part 2 reacting to some of y'all's if we get enough comments. All right, but that's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Road to 10K. I'm out of here. I'm gone.